In Kenya, compassion is deeply rooted in our culture. When someone is sick, families, friends, and even strangers rally together to contribute for treatment. But in recent years, a disturbing trend has emerged. Individuals faking illnesses to extort money from unsuspecting Kenyans.
Gladys Wairimu Kamande captured the hearts of Kenyans when images of her walking with a generator, oxygen cylinders, and a concentrator became a symbol of her struggle for survival.
Wake uliokuwa umevimba. Hapa Michael Njoroge alizidi kututishia na kusema kuwa atatumia nguvu zake kuondoa ugonjwa huo katika mguu wa kijana huyu na kuturushia sisi au watoto wetu.
On this episode, we expose the dark world of medical con games and the tricks behind fake sicknesses stories. With the growth of M-Changa, GoFundMe, and WhatsApp fundraising groups, collecting money has become easier than ever before. Kenyans are generous people, often moved by touching stories and emotional photos. But this generosity has also opened a loophole for fraudsters who prey on empathy. The playbook is simple. Download hospital photos from the internet, use fake names, and post emotional stories, or you can fake a disease and say it's about cancer, kidney failure, or accident. Add a pay bill number, spread the story on social media, and wait for M-Pesa alerts to start streaming in. The scam is effective because it exploits human kindness. If you are keen enough, you can remember the case that took place in Kitengela on 21st August 2025, whereby a woman scripted an act with his friends to take advantage of one popular Eric Omondi with his philanthropist bandwagon of Sisi kwa Sisi movement. The woman was arrested after faking an abuse story to defraud comedian Eric Omondi and the public of more than 1 million Kenya shillings. The saga began when a video showing a woman allegedly being thrown out of her house with her 2 children went viral on social media. The clip circulated online showing a woman identified as Joyce Nyabuti being allegedly chased out of her home by her husband. The video sparked outrage and sympathy, with many Kenyans appealing to Omondi to intervene through his charitable initiative, Sisi kwa Sisi. Nyabuti claimed she had been thrown out following a dispute linked to her children's mental health challenges. She further alleged that her friend had taken her in after her husband forced her out. By the public outcry, Omondi rallied his followers on social media to raise funds for the woman. Within hours, over 1 million had been contributed, with the money intended to help Nyabuti start a business and secure her own home. However, investigation by Omondi's own team uncovered that the story was fabricated. According to Omondi, Nyabuti, together with another woman she introduced as her sister, had conspired to stage the eviction.
Niseme ukweli, kwa hii video yenye ilikuwa imewekwa ilikuwa siku ya Sunday. Tulikuwa tumeamua tufanye hiyo kitu kwa marafiki wangu watatu. Mmoja akaniambia kwa sababu ya mtoto wake hakuna shida na wangu pia kwa shida, kwa njia moja au nyingine, nami nikakubali. Lakini tukafanya hiyo video. Hata huyo mwanaume si wangu. Tulitafuta mtu alikuwa ni mpita njia, tukamlipa 200 akafanya hiyo video.
Sasa hizi unapata pesa ngapi kwa?
Sasa hii 1,000,000 imeingia kwa simu. Chenye niliongea asubuhi ilikuwa ni uongo. Unajua sababu ya hao mara.
They enlisted the help of a man, presented as her husband, and even used a friend's child to bolster sympathy from the public. One of the principles of Sisi kwa Sisi is that we do serious due diligence before, during, and after a case. These individuals tried to scam Kenyans, but we caught them. Eric Omondi wrote on his Instagram account. Omondi said he had handed over the mobile phone used to collect the contribution to officers from the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, who detained the suspect at Kitengela Police Station pending further inquiry.
Ambia Wakenya, wewe ni nani?
Mimi ni mama yake Chris.
Mama yake Chris ndio mtu mkubwa. Wewe Mama Chris? Na kwa nini leo anasema ni Mama Chris?
Ni sister yangu. Mimi sikukuwa najiweza.
Ambia wa Kenya.
Sikukuwa najiweza. Nilichukua mtoto nikapea sister yangu afanye kuishi na yeye, sikuwa najiweza.
Yes, Eric Omondi here. I posted a story about Joyce and her 2 children, which we saw all on social media when it was Chris, yeah. But when I was driving back to Nairobi, kuna watu wamenitumia link za huyu mtoto akiwa kwa video. Hiyo video ni kuna video kwa YouTube. So immediately niliona ni kama kuna story I connect. That's why I came back here kufanya due diligence. So nafika hapa naambiwa huyu mtoto si mtoto wa Joyce. Huyu mtoto ni mtoto wa huyu. Unaitwa nani?
Jessica Ambani Orembe.
Wewe ni mtoto wako? I got in DCI. Before I came back here, I called the DCI Kenyans and I sent an officer here. He's here.
Mondi went further and said, "It is very sad that they will use innocent children in such a scheme. The phone, which already had 1 million, is now in police custody. We are seeking guidance from Team Sisi kwa Sisi on the way forward." So, on our first case, comedian turned philanthropist Eric Omondi revealed that a woman was at the center of the viral eviction attempted to scam Kenyans out of more than 1 million Kenya shillings. Moving to our next story. Do you remember Bishop Victor Kanyari?
I'm not doctor by professional. Sijasomea chochote maana mimi nimefika form 2, just a form 2 liver.
Here is how the story went along. This is the self-proclaimed Bishop Victor Kanyari of potassium permanganate fame. In November 2014, Kanyari, a televangelist and a pastor at the Salvation Healing Ministry and the son of disgraced prophetess Lucy Nduta, was exposed on Kenya television network, KTN, Jichopevu, an investigative television series for performing dubious miracles, faking healing and coaching his staff to tender phony testimonies of, among others, healing and prayer-induced prosperity. The series exposed Kanyari as selling fake miracles and duping believers into giving money and other gifts to the church, with the promise that God would look into their issues. Kanyari was allegedly further revealed to be a con artist who preyed on his trusting followers for financial gains. This harrowing video exposed, laced with shocking confession from part of his team, revealed how Kanyari deceptively obtained money from worshippers on the pretext that they would receive miracles. The expose, dubbed Makria Injili, Prayer Predators, contemporaneously showed that the deceptive method that the Salvation Healing Ministry used to lure and exploit the gullible and trusting followers over a period of 15 years in order for Kanyari to enrich himself. The expose included witnesses' testimonies given by paid members of the church who falsely testified that they had been miraculously healed of AIDS through Pastor Kanyari's prayers.
Nzuri sana na.
Umetoka wapi?
Nimetoka pande ya Kika.
Shida ilikuwa gani?
Na pia nilikuwa nimekosa kazi kwa muda mrefu. Nilikuwa nimeenda interviews mingi sana. Wote wakinipromise kwamba nitapata kazi. Lakini siku moja nikakusikia kwa TV. Nikaona kipindi yako. Na hapo chini ukasema mtu akiwa na shida yote kwamba atafute mbegu ya 310 na asimamishe. Nikasimamisha hiyo mbegu nikiamini kwamba Mungu atatenda na utasikia kilio changu na utaniombea na nitapata kazi.
Kanyari also washed the feet of his followers with water laced with potassium permanganate. When he stirred the chemical, just like one will do in a chemistry lab, the water turned into the bread in bizarre incident. Straight out of a children's folktale, he told his adherents that this was blood oozing out from their feet as a result of healing miracle from his prayers. The tragedy of these healing performances is that his followers seemed to believe in his miracle abracadabra.
At some of the services, Kanyari would enlist Washira and other assistants' help in washing the feet of people who would want to be prayed for. Biblically, the washing of feet by Jesus was meant as a sign of Christ's humility, that he would perform such a task as performed by the lowliest of servants. But for Kanyari, it appears the washing of feet was just bait for unsuspecting worshippers. and Wachira was a key player in the scam crafted to look like a miracle.
And we used to have, we used to use potassium permanganate, which is a chemical, a lab chemical. Once it is applied on you and it reacts with water and oxygen, it becomes red. So people would think that is blood.
In yet another expose, Kanyari paid women, mostly sex workers, to come forth for faith healing services with twisted mouths and faces, which would miraculously be realigned during prayer services that were telecast on KTN. Kanyari was exposed not only as a con man who used paid sex workers to perform for him, but also a drunk who routinely cheated on his gospel musician wife. A story aired on KTN's primetime showed footage in which Kanyari appeared to be falsifying phone calls on his radio program recorded from his house. Audiences were urged to send as much as 500,000 Kenya shillings after a single prayer episode. Church members and anybody else who needed prayers had to send him a mandatory of 310 shillings. This charge was a clever manipulation of Malachi chapter 3, verse 10 in the scriptures, which talks about the importance of tithing and God's abundant blessings.
Na niko na program kama 7 ambazo sio live.
Hiyo ndio nimesikiza ya live.
Yeah.
Hawa watu wanapiga simu wanakuaga nje ama mko nao?
Hao wanakuaga nje. Wanakuwa nje, washirika wako wanaweza kupigia simu, your friends can call you, anybody can call you. Ni kama through Facebook vile ambavyo mtu anaweza.
Foleni ya kutoa ushuhuda wa uongo ni ndefu, huku mmoja baada ya mwingine akiingia.
Mtumisha kaniambia my sister, wacha ni kama nikupotea wacha zipotea hiyo. Mtumisha kaniambia nipandishe imani yangu, na kweli nikapandisha imani yangu. Aliniombea kwa simu hiyo siku hiyo tu, akaniambia niweke maji kwa glass na niweke chumvi. Aliombea hayo maji, akaniambia nikunywe, akaniambia after 3 days niende nikapimwa. Kwa uhakika wa Mungu, mimi wapendwa nimepona. Saa hizi niko HIV negative. Mtumishi, Mungu akubariki na akupiganie.
After the expose, an unrepentant Kanyari bragged that he had become an instant celebrity since he was the subject of discussion in Kenya's public and private discourses. He further bragged of his rise from a mere secondary school dropout and a former manual farm laborer to a prophet who was the talk of town. His mother, Prophetess Lucy Nduta, also of Salvation Healing Ministry and a host of a weekly TV program, was arrested in the mid-2006 for extorting money from the faithful, including requiring HIV/AIDS patient to plant a seed of between 200,000 Kenya shillings and 400,000 Kenya shillings for her to cure them through powerful prayers. Once a receipt of payment, church elders will allegedly take the AIDS patients to a local AIDS clinic where they will be issued with a false medical certificate giving them a clean bill of health. The prophetess claimed that she had cured 200 HIV/AIDS cases. About 8 years ago, the heartbreaking story of Gladys Wairimu captured the attention of the entire country and pulled many to their heartstrings.
32-year-old Gladys Wairimu Kamande has been surviving on oxygen for close to 7 years now. Her lifestyle changed in 2010 after she developed stomach complications that later led to loss of sight. Well, doctors at Kenyatta National Hospital describe her situation as episodic wheeze and dyspnea.
The Nairobi woman, frail and battling life-threatening lung complication, moved around with an oxygen concentrator trapped to her side. Blind and confined to a wheelchair, every step of her life seemed like a struggle. Speaking to Tuco, Gladys recalled that her plight went viral in 2016 after a young boy who saw her in her condition broke down in tears. Gladys said that her plight went viral. Philanthropist Ndungu Nyoro and other prominent people whom she had tried to reach for help reached out and expressed interest in helping her. She claimed Nyoro first had doctors run fresh tests on her so that they could indeed determine if she was ill and the kind of medical help that she needed.
Nikagojeka tumbo, nikaenda nikafanyiwa operation ya kwanza, Nikagonjeka tena, nikaenda nikafanyiwa operation nyingine. Hivi nimefanyiwa operation 12.
The fundraiser was successful as the Nairobi woman received 9 million Kenya shillings, and plans to take her to India started immediately. Gladys recalled how her condition deteriorated on the flight to India, and she had to be picked up by an ambulance after arrival. She made one more trip back to India for specialized treatment, which she said helped her to restore her sight. Recently, photos of Gladys looking healthy and beautiful have been trending on social media, with many unable to believe she is the same woman who was wheelchair-bound and breathing with the help of an oxygen concentrator. Wairimu said many doubted her sickness after she posted a photo while in India, appearing excited. Wairimu later revealed that after the treatment, about 4 million remained in the account. Wairimu said despite the allegations against her, she remains thankful to everyone who contributed and helped her get the treatment that saw her back on her 2 feet. A very interesting scenario about Wairimu is that she is a gospel artist, and at one point while she was still sick, she was able to record a music video in her condition and able to produce her voice clearly while singing the video and also dancing on the video. Check out how it was done just a little bit and make an opinion for yourself.
Remember Gladys explaining that she's a musician? Well, days before she flew to India, she recorded a banger, and it is here that Kenyans got a hard time comprehending how a woman struggling to breathe could sing so well, leave alone dance so effortlessly.
Nilikuwa naiba karaini kamoja na kaa chini. Hata niliiba nikiwa nimekaa. Naiba kengine tunakaa chini. Si ati hiyo wimbo sikuimba yote ikaisha. Apana.
Netizens also started questioning Gladys' sudden taste for the fine things in life, at one point posting photos of herself wearing what netizens alleged was original Adidas pants.
Allegations of fake miracles and other fraudulent activities have been widely reported against Fire Gospel Ministry and its leader, the late Pastor Michael Njoroge. An investigative report by Kenyan broadcaster NTV in the year 2012 exposed the ministry deceptive practices which led to a major scandal and Njoroge's downfall. A commercial sex worker named Mwende exposed Pastor Michael Njoroge tactics on NTV. She testified that Njoroge paid her for sex and then proposed a plan to stage fake healing miracles to deceive his congregation. Mwende claimed she was paid to pretend she had a facial deformity that Njoroge had miraculously healed. The staged miracle was performed to convince the public and congregation of his healing powers.
Pastor alinipata ngapa Pastor Michael Njoroge wa ministry, fire ministry. Mwenye alinipata hapa kana metenda short, mimi sikuwa najua ni pastor. Bia tuenda short, kumaliza kwenda short aliniambia hakuna haja ya kushina nikipigwa na baridi hapa, kuna kazi angenionyesha. Nikamwambia yenyewe kama kuna kazi angenionyesha ni sawa. Ndio akaanza kunielezea, akaniambia niende kwa kanisa yake, niongee mambo ya uongo, niseme nimepinduka mdomo na aweze kunilipa. Ndio alinilipa.
Ulifanyaje mdomo?
Niligeuza mdomo.
Kivipi? Hebu tuonyeshe kwa mfano.
Niligeuza mdomo hivi kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni, na akanipatia shilingi 2,000. Akanipatia shilingi 2,000. Nikageuza mdomo. Alafu nikatoa testimony.
Hapa ndio nakuchukua kila wakati.
Kila wakati huwa ananichukua hapa.
Pastor mwenyewe ama
Pastor mwenyewe alinichukua siku ya kwanza hapa.
In the wake of the expose, Njoroge criticized the media for interfering with God's work but refused directly to address the allegation. He instead asked his congregation to declare they had not been paid to give testimony. Before the scandal, Njoroge was known for his luxurious lifestyle, including driving expensive cars and flying in helicopters, which stood in contrast to many of his followers. Accounts from former followers describe being pressured to give large sums of money for special anointing oil and appointments with the pastor. The NTV expose was a national story in Kenya and led to Njoroge's downfall. ending his flamboyant public career. Pastor Michael Njoroge passed away on August 31st, 2023. Reports indicated that he was buried hastily and discreetly, potentially to avoid media attention and public scrutiny. Also in another story, the claim that Kenyan fashion designer Shienze Asoha faked a cancer diagnosis to solicit funds became prominent case study for how social media enables both charity and fraud. While social media helped raise a significant amount of money for her supposed treatment, the platform also facilitated the public accusation that exposed inconsistencies in her story. Social media played a crucial role in rallying support for Asoha, illustrating its positive power for medical appeals.
Please note that right before the interview, Shienze actually could not come on to do the interview, and she has this big smile now. I'm just taken aback by it. Now, Shienze, tell us about your relationship with this deadly enemy.
Okay, my journey was just like a normal journey. I knew that it's hormonal imbalance. I had very severe, like very long sessions of menstruation, and I would be given contraceptives to control the length of the days, yeah. So, but when I was in Form 2, like it really persisted. I had my Form 2 year, the whole year, I was in and out of hospital, and I had my menses the whole year. So at that time, it was not like really alarming, because I was in school, and I was like, provided I'm not dying or something, it's okay. So my mom at that time, we decided now to see a gynecologist or something.
Yeah.
So the gynecologist gave me the contraceptives. We tried things. They tried a lot of methods. We tried some herbs and stuff to see like why is this happening for a long time, because it was also causing stigma on my side. Because imagine you're in school, and after every 40 minutes during the break, you have to go to the bathroom, because they were heavy, extremely heavy. So my principal then, Mrs. Moti, just decided like she's going to take this as a responsibility.
Yeah.
In the year 2018, when Asoha went public for her story of battling ovarian cancer, social media was instrumental in broadcasting her appeal for financial aid. Posts were shared widely across platforms like Twitter, which is now X, and Facebook, quickly drawing the attention of celebrities and the public. A fundraising campaign, Va Shienze, which in English means Where Shienze, was launched with the help of a public relations professional who connected with her on social media. The campaign encouraged supporters to buy her clothing, with the proceeds going towards her treatment. Supporters and well-wishers formed a community around Asoha online, offering encouragement and prayers for her recovery. The same channels that brought Asoha support were used to expose her alleged fraud, highlighting social media darker side. In July 2019, two people claiming to be her former caregivers came forward on Citizen TV with the allegation that Asoha had lied about her illness. The story quickly went viral on social media, where Asoha was forced to defend herself against mounting accusations. Social media users acted as citizen journalists, cross-referencing Asoha claims with information from her alleged hospital and her own statements. Her supposed caregivers also shared video footage on social media in which Asoha appeared to admit to fabricating aspects of her story. The scandal severely damaged Asoha's reputation and left many of her supporters feeling duped. The incident created a sense of public mistrust that made it more difficult for future online medical fundraisers to be taken seriously. The Shienze Asoha case exemplifies a modern dilemma concerning social media dual nature.
Fashion designer Shienze Asoha has been under the spotlight after two persons claiming to be her caregivers came forward stating that she does not suffer ovarian cancer, as she claims. Now this after campaigns on social media saw her raise more than 2 million shillings for her cancer treatment.
The ability of social media to amplify emotional stories, whether true or false, can be exploited by scammers by creating a compelling narrative and a sense of urgency. Perpetrating can bypass standard vetting processes and appeal directly to people's emotion. While the speed of social media can aid fraudsters, it can also lead to their downfall. The same public that supports a cause can quickly turn and scrutinize the story's validity, making it difficult for lies to stand up to collective fact-checking. The aftermath of such high-profile fraud cases can lead to a boy who cried wolf effect. When people are repeatedly exposed to scams, they can become jaded and hesitant to donate, potentially harming legitimate causes and individuals who genuinely need help. Another shocking trend has been the use of fake disability stories. Some scammers hire children to act as patients, bandaging them up or placing them in wheelchairs to create sympathy. They parade them in public spaces crying out for help. Sadly, these children often become victims of exploitation with no illnesses at all. Just like one story that was aired with international media, BBC, in the recent few days. Kenyans have also witnessed cases of fake kidney transplant appeals. A young man once claimed he needed surgery in India and circulated medical reports, but sharp-eyed netizens noticed the reports were doctored, hospital logos copied, and details inconsistent. The money collected never went to any hospital. Some fake patients even use churches to spread their lies. They approach pastors, share fabricated medical reports, and plead for prayers and fundraising. Once church members contribute, the individuals vanish, leaving behind broken trust and humiliation for the church leaders who vouched for them. In the age of virality, Facebook and TikTok have become tools of deception. Scammers record videos while crying with dramatic background music narrating their so-called medical journey. The videos are then shared widely, with thousands sending money, never suspecting that the tears are staged. These con artists often use emotional blackmail to pressure contribution. Phrases like "only 2 days left," "I'm in ICU," or "I'll die without your help" create urgency. They tag at #, knowing Kenyans respond quickly to life and death situation. The goal is simple: trigger impulse donation before anyone questions the story. The saddest part of this scam is that real patients suffer. With so many fake appeals circulating, Kenyans have become skeptical. Genuine cases of children with leukemia, accident survivors, and cancer patients often struggle to raise funds because the public no longer knows who to trust. There have been high-profile bursts of fake patients. In one case, a young woman went viral claiming she had brain cancer. A TV station even featured her, but soon after, hospital staff came forward saying she had been admitted. Her entire story was fraud, staged for quick money. WhatsApp groups are another fertile ground for fake appeals. Fraudsters seek bulk messages with paybill numbers, claiming to be family members of a patient in critical condition. By the time the truth comes out, the fraudster has already disappeared, leaving hundreds of small contributors feeling cheated. In rural areas, Harambes have also infiltrated by these scams. Villagers contribute goats, chicken, and small amounts, believing they are helping a neighbor. But when the so-called patient vanishes, communities are left bitter and divided, with trust in local unity destroyed. Experts say these scammers are master manipulators. They understand human psychology, compassion, urgency, and guilt. By framing their stories as desperate cries for help, they bypass logical thinking. People donate out of emotion, not reason, which is exactly what fraudsters want.